everyone and welcome to a new video. Today's video I'm doing something not bookish because I want to talk about my coming out story in light of all the stuff that's been going on within the LGBTQ+ community currently with the whole YouTube restriction mode, which all I can say is fuck you. I'm going to leave actually the Philip DeFranco video below where he talks about it because he makes some really valid points, and I don't want to put lots of emphasis on this restriction mode because I just don't like it and I don't want to talk about it. So instead I'm going to talk about my coming out story, which is a bit of a crazy one. Got lots of layers to it. So I for those who don't know, I'm gay, okay? And I'm very proud to be gay. Sort of like, you know, before I get into this video, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You guys really have been destroying the thumbs up button recently, so let's try and get this video, it's gonna be a push, to 1,000 thumbs up. 1,000 thumbs up for the coming out story. I'm nervous and I'm excited to tell you about it, so I'm just gonna crack on. I'm just gonna crack the shit on. Let me tell you. And also, who here's from the notification squad? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to join the notification squad, hit the bell button and join the fam. Okay, so once upon a time, there was a 15-year-old boy who discovered Bebo. Now, for those who don't know what Bebo is, it is a social media site very similar to MySpace, which was very big in the UK. I can't say if it was big anywhere else, because I don't know. I'm from the UK, if you can't tell already. I used to go on Bebo, and through just searching the site, I actually stumbled across the kind of gay rooms on Bebo, the kind of gay groups, and it was really new to me. I always knew I was different, and I think I always knew I was gay, and I knew I liked boys over girls, but I never really explored it because I don't know, when I was younger I didn't. It wasn't like anyone told me it was wrong. I never had anyone in my family or my close friends tell me it was wrong, but I was bullied a lot through primary and secondary school for being different and for being more feminine, so I always just kind of tried to hide it and suppress it. But when it got to the age of 15 and I was on Bebo, I decided to explore that side of me, and it was the best thing ever, can I just say. I had a BlackBerry phone. I don't know if anybody here remembers BlackBerry Messenger, but you could give your code out and people could add you to BlackBerry Messenger, and in these groups you would give your code out and you would then talk to people that are like-minded, people of similar ages, sometimes not similar ages, and you would talk to them just like normal. It was so refreshing to talk to people of the same sex in like flirty romantic ways. It was so refreshing and it was so new to me and it was so exciting as well at the same time. So anyway, I'm on this site, I'm chatting to some people, and I stumble across a certain person that I really hit off a connection with, and I would name the person, but the person is a little bit high profile, and I'll come to that in a second. So we're just gonna call this person Tree. So I was chatting to Tree, and we were chatting for about 4 months, and I really liked this boy. And now, bearing in mind, this is the first time I've ever spoken to somebody on this level, so it was kind of like lust eyes, like I was looking at it through lust eyes. We'd never met, it was all through online. We used to webcam message, we used to chat on the phone, we used to text. He was, I think, a couple of years older than me, and we just got along really well, and we would talk every day. And this was the first time I kind of thought I loved somebody. I mean, it really wasn't love, it was lust for sure, but I was really talking to them and I was on this level. Now, bearing in mind, nobody knew at this point. I didn't tell anybody. I was really conscious and I didn't want people to know, but I was really excited about talking to somebody like me. Anyway, it really hit it off, and it got to that point in the relationship where it wasn't a relationship. We never said we were going out or anything like that. We were just talking. And then one day he completely disappeared, and I thought it was so weird. Like, he completely disappeared. It was around summertime and he deleted me off everything, and I was like heartbroken because he was the only person who knew me for me at that moment, like knew that I like what I was feeling, who I was inside. So I was on Google like trying to find any sign of him on YouTube, anything, and when I typed his name in the Google bar, it came up with Tree X Factor. Tree dating girl from X Factor. Tree doing this with X Factor. And it turned out that he was a contestant on the UK X Factor. He got through to boot camp and that was about it. But he was then dating somebody who got through to the live shows. And I was so shook. And in my mind, I was like, oh my God, this is like a movie. This is such a movie. Like, I was dating somebody who's now dating somebody relatively famous, and nobody knows and nobody will ever believe me. And it got that point internally. It was so hard to keep it in because I just wanted to talk to somebody. I almost felt crazy, as if those previous months had not happened, and if I had not said anything, I would have exploded. Now, this story kind of goes off in a couple of tangents now. Firstly, I want to point out that my mum always, since childhood, asked if I was gay. She always used to say, it's okay to be gay, are you gay? She would always ask, and although her intentions were positive, I did find that very overwhelming. Secondly, I had a friend I still have a friend, she's my best friend, Jasmine Andrade. You guys know, done some videos with her before. She was the only person in my life at that point who I felt like I could tell. And I was really nervous and I was freaking out and I was worried, but I just had to tell somebody, and it was in science class in secondary school. I sat down and I told her the whole story about Tree. I said, this is what's happened, blah, 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 and it just like fell out of me. It was so amazing to get it off my chest and be like, I'm gay, like I'm gay. And she's honestly one of the most trustworthy people. I knew she wouldn't tell anybody, and she didn't. And she was like then my kind of comfort blanket in that way, but she also gave me the confidence to tell other people, because as soon as I saw her positive reaction, I felt like, oh, maybe others would be positive. So then a week later, after kind of getting over this whole Tree thing, like I said, it was lust. I didn't really like him that much. It was just like a crazy thing. But once I actually told somebody about it, I was back on the Bebo bandwagon, chatting to other people. It was great. Then I had a plan to go out for a meal with all of my friends at school on this certain day, and I was around my friend Pippa's house. And again, at this point, only Jasmine knew. My parents didn't know. Nobody else knew. Only Jasmine knew. And I was 15, and we were all going out for a meal out, and it's like, oh, 15-year-olds going for pizza, so exciting. And I remember being at Pippa's house and just wanting to tell her, because again, Pippa was somebody I trusted, and I just wanted to tell her. I just felt so overwhelmed with telling her, and I remember being so scared, and I was on her computer in her room, and I told her to come sit next to me, and I couldn't say it. I couldn't say I'm gay, and I just wrote in the search bar of Google, I'm gay, and I ran out the room. I didn't search, I knew she would be watching it, and she read it, and I ran out the room. And then she called me back in, and we talked about it, and I had a little cry, and it was so nice again to tell somebody else, and then I let Jasmine know that I've told Pippa, and it was all so exciting and so great. Then we went out for the meal, so I just told Pippa, and Jasmine I think was at the meal as well, and we all had this inside joke. I think Jasmine's at the meal, I can't remember that, but I knew Pippa was, because I went with her, obviously. And nobody else at the table knew. Now, I can't remember if I told people at that meal, so I'm not gonna say I did or if I didn't. I can't remember. Telling everyone else kind of happened within the following weeks. I would just tell people in small groups and be like, listen, I'm gay, and blah, 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 I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay! And I had really positive reaction. It was really positive, and all the worrying really turned out to be for nothing. Now, again, of course, with being in secondary school, I told some people who then spread it around the school, and then everybody knew before I was ready for everybody to know. And then, you know, I just was Ben, who nobody again really picked at me. I think there was one person, I will make a video about homophobia that I've dealt with soon. There was one person in the school who still had a problem with me, and I'm gonna name him because he's a prick, and his name's Matthew, and he was such a prick, and he was horrible about me in school all the time. But that was, and I had so many friends supporting me who would say things to him as well, so I'll talk about it in another video. But yes, everyone in school knew. Okay, how my parents found out. I told my mum. My mum kept asking me and asking me and asking me if I was gay, and she did it again, and she was with one of her friends. She was like, you know, it's okay, and it was in the midst of me telling all my friends. I said, yep, I'm gay, and she was like, woohoo, yes, and that was it. And then my birthday followed pretty soon after that, and she got me a blow-up sex doll man, not for that, but for a birthday thing, and willy straws and everything, so she was super cool with it. Now, okay, the next story I'm talking about is how my dad found out, because that is a bit of an awkward story. I was working, it was my first job, and I was working at a place. I won't say where, and I won't say what and what I was doing, but I was working in a place, and there was another person there who was openly gay, and in the midst of me telling all my friends, I was also telling everybody at work. Yes, I had a job at 15, I know you're not supposed to, but shh. Everybody, I was telling everybody there, and there was this one guy who worked at this place who I thought was just so cute, and we always got along so well, and when I came out, we kind of hit it off a little bit. We didn't go out or anything like that, but we had these moments where we would chat about it and things like that, and we did share a few kisses at the back of work. I know, guys, it's like a movie, honestly. So anyway, now comes the awkward story. Obviously, with being a young teen, we would experiment over text, and there might have been a few bad texts sent between us, and I was in the kitchen at home after work once, and I left my phone on the side on the messages, and I remember sitting down at the kitchen table and eating the sandwich, and I looked, and my dad was stood over the phone with his hands like hunched over, and my heart sank. He kind of went, and stood up and walked off. And I knew what he'd seen. I knew it, but we didn't talk about it. I ran up into my room. I was so panicking. I was freaking out because I never thought my dad would hate me for it, but I was just scared to tell your dad. I think as a gay man, like, I don't know, I can't talk for everyone, but I was really scared to tell my dad. Anyway, my mum spoke to my stepmom, and my stepmom spoke to me, and I remember sitting down in the living room, and we still at this point, me and my dad hadn't spoken about it, and I remember sitting down in the living room, and we were watching a program, funnily enough, about being gay, and it was about teens in America who were sent to camps, like religious camps, to kind of pray the gay away. And my dad was watching it, and he paused it, and he looked at me and he goes, you know, I would never do that to you. You know, I love you. And then just started playing it again, and that was it. ever since then it's been, well, normal. My dad's best friends are gay. I never put two and two together. His best friends and his best men's at the wedding were a gay couple. So I never really put that together, but after that was just normal for me. And do you know what, I have to admit, you know, I had a really, really lucky coming out. It was all positive. I mean, there were negative things, but really it was all positive. And I've also been in situations where, which I'm sure I make a video soon, and it's not my story to tell, but I've also been the support of somebody who's not been out, and everybody's experience is different. And know that everything is okay. It gets better. Love is love is love is love. We're in this modern day now where it is more acceptable, and I'm not saying that everybody's gonna have a positive ride like mine, but I wanted to say that, you know, I wanted to tell my story and tell you that I had a positive thing, and it can be positive, and don't worry. And I know people worry when it happens, because I worried, and I know internally you worry about what people are gonna say, and it's all about self-love and realizing that actually I am who I am, and I'm so fine with that. I hope I've covered everything in this video. I most probably make more. If you guys have got any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I will be making more videos soon about it. I want to talk about my experience with homophobia. I want to talk about being gay in school. I want to talk about all that stuff in different videos, but this is my coming out story. And do you know what? I've wanted to do this video for 3 years, and I feel so amazing that I've finally done it. It really is such an amazing feeling. I love you all so much. You guys have always supported me for being who I am on this thing. I've never not told you I was gay. I've always been open with you guys. I've always been open with everybody. I am gay. I'm proud to be gay. You know, if you've ever struggled with, internally accepting it and worrying about what other people are gonna think, it gets better. I promise you, it gets better. And there are people out there who are in the same position as you. You're amazing. Whoever you are, LGBTQ plus community, you're amazing. If you're straight, you're amazing. Everybody here is unique and amazing, and that is the most important thing. Thank you all so much for listening to my story. I hope everything made sense and I didn't waffle and spread things around too much, but I can't wait to post this. And thanks so much for watching, and come and check me out on Twitter as well, links down below. Apart from that, I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you, bye-bye.